Welcome back to ENVC. I'm your host today, Anthony, and today we're joined by Toborts. How are you doing today, Toborts?
Hey, Anthony. Toborts here. Doing great. How are you doing?
I can't complain. Very good day. Today's conversation is we're going to be talking about Link's Awakening. Have you ever played that game before?
I definitely have. I played both the Game Boy version and the new release on the Switch. Have you played it?
I have played the new version. I have not played the original Game Boy version.
Well, what do you think about the game? Like in general, like how do you feel about the gameplay? You know, like the mechanics of it.
I do definitely dig the whole old school vibe of it. They're trying to do kind of like that kind of. They kind of kept it the same with the third kind of party over the top kind of camera view. Kind of kept it retro with that, and kind of upgraded the graphics with it. But for the most part, it seemed like it was for the same game. So I'm kind of glad to stay true to that.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell, it's the exact same game, 100%. Like the game really hadn't changed. Like if you look up like how the previous game was, you can pretty much play the game 100%. The only difference is the side scroller comparative to the sort of open world landscape that they created. And then obviously like the rounded characters, things like that, adding shadows, which they did not have in the previous game.
Of course.
But I did enjoy the fact that it kind of had like a childish type of feel to it. It was definitely not a Breath of the Wild game.
Yeah, totally different games, 100%. I agree with you on that.
Very different, very different. You said so you played it. Like, is there any like type of weapon or maybe a possible like villain that you enjoyed fighting or you liked, or something that was difficult?
One of the most levels that I was actually enjoying was the desert. When you kind of enter the whole desert kind of area of the game.
Which part of which characters of the desert though? Are you talking about those things that like suck you up and like eat you type of things?
There was one boss I think you had to fight. It was more like a centipede type of.
Oh, the giant centipede. Yeah, I don't know if he has a name, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That one was a little annoying. That one took me like a few minutes as well. Yeah, I know what you mean. So the game, I mean, it's got some like really dark tones in this particular game comparative to like some of the other Zelda games that might not be like super apparent. Like I know that earlier today we were even talking about Majora's Mask and how there's even fan theories about how that's been happening about different like dark overtones of it. But this one is almost really abundantly crazy, isn't it?
A little bit. I can understand what you're trying to say. It kind of has a little dark tones, especially little Easter eggs. I guess you can call them to pay attention what each boss says after the end when you beat them. And I definitely kind of see where it kind of gets this little off look to the game, where you know something's wrong, but you know you can't put your finger on it. That's kind of how I felt with the whole look of the game.
And then the whole thing's screwed up when you find out that you actually wake up the windfish and everything was just a dream. Yeah. And that means everyone basically died on the island. So it's almost like the villains that you killed in the game were like the good guys, like keeping them alive.
You know what? I never even thought about that until like right now. That's a good way of actually looking at it.
It's one of the only Zelda games where the bad guys you're killing are like the good guys. Yeah. Do you know what's weird in the game I always thought about was how there's Mario characters in the game?
That's a good question. You see the little Goombas and there's kind of like a little Mario, like little aspect to it.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Pokies in those like Pokey cactus things in there. I forget which other ones I've seen in there, but there's some characters that definitely look like Super Mario. There's a Chain Chomp. Like that's right there in the village that you start out with.
Yes, I do remember that. I think it's one of the missions you have to go rescue the Chain Chomp on one of the little missions in the beginning of the game. But yes,
and all you get is like a bow at the end. Like congratulations, you get a bow. But you know what though? That's actually like a good segue because that bow is like an important puzzle piece because that bow is traded for the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. You get a pineapple at one point. You have to trade it for like a magic mirror. Like it's weird stuff you get traded for. And all the way, if you don't trade all that stuff, you're not able to get like a certain key that you're able to unlock one of the final dungeons to beat the game. So this game is definitely, even though it's for kids, it's got like a very what is it like? It's got like complexity to it.
Definitely, most definitely. It kind of force you to kind of go make these do those little side quests and kind of force you to do that just to finish the game.
It's definitely not a Mario Kart.
Completely different. I can understand that one. But what would you?
But I feel like most Zeldas are like this.
Yes, what you expect from a Zelda game, of course. You have to expect some you have to expect some difficulty for a Zelda game. I wouldn't expect any other way.
Did you notice anything different between like the original and the old version, kind of like in style or whatever? Besides the fact it's just Game Boy to that with like new graphics, do you notice anything different?
You know, other than graphics, I mean, other than the graphics and adding new kind of shadows and little details, it pretty much look like the same game, in my opinion. To me, I don't know if you noticed anything different than playing the Game Boy game and then the new one when it came out.
Well, I mean, the entire thing takes in place of a dream of, the Windfish. And I feel like the camera work that they have on the actual game, where it makes the edges kind of defocused and a little like out of touch, is almost like a dream. You like following the path and it like opens new areas for you. Like it show like not like open like you can't see it, but it's just blurry, kind of like how a dream is. And I don't know if that was intentional, but it was definitely like an artistic measure on the game.
I see. Something they couldn't do, obviously, in the Game Boy release.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. They could not have done that in the Game Boy release.
Definitely, that's pretty cool.
I see you're wearing a Zelda shirt. I like it, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's pretty awesome. I like that. That's pretty awesome and sauce.
You gotta come prepared.
Oh man, I wish I had a Zelda shirt. Too bad.
Try investing in one.
Yeah, well, computer games, like and then I'm just a lonely computer module just sitting here on your screen. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe maybe one day I'll find a shirt.
Everything's possible on the internet. Anything's possible on the internet.
What's the next Zelda game you think you're gonna play or play again if you had to? Besides, let's get out of. Like, they might make a Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, but what's, like, the next Zelda game you want to play?
The next game is something I personally want to play. We were talking about Majora's Mask, and that kind of got me going. And thinking about playing the originals again, to be honest with you.
All right, well, that's a kick-butt game. I like that game. That's a pretty awesome game. I like that one. For me, it would be Ocarina... what is it? Oracle of Seasons. Oracle of Seasons, Oracles of Ages. Like, either one of those two games. It's kind of hard. You have to play both of them at the same time, pretty much.
How is that possible?
It's just that they're so interlinked. Like, you can't really play one without playing the other.
For sure. I'm going to take your word for it on that one. To me, I don't think I got the time to even attempt to do such things.
Well, once you get 4 hands, thus like I do my robot, then we can talk about playing both of those together in our next segment.
You know what? I guess that would be an advantage you have to do that, for sure.
Yeah, I'm in Singapore right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Singapore, Jesus Christ.
Oh, now I'm in Tokyo. See, that's how the internet works.
Anyway, about that technology life, you got anything you want to wrap up with this whole Zelda?
Not a whole lot. I just hope that everybody that loves Zelda, make sure to comment down at the bottom. If you play Zelda, tell us what your favorite Zelda character is, your Zelda favorite video game is, and if we missed anything that you'd want to talk about in Ocarina. Sorry, I almost said Ocarina of Time. That's like my favorite game. Link's Awakening, the release in 2019 on the Switch. If you have anything else that you want to say about it, definitely put it down in the comments, and maybe we'll bring it up in our next subject.
And there you have it. Thank you for tuning in for ENVC. Talk to you guys later.
Bye bye.